Hi guys, welcome to this video. I am so excited to show you around this album and give you an idea of what these guys are all about and why they're so special and so valuable. So we're gonna take a peek through this and give you an idea of kind of what it is all about. And before we dig into that, I just wanted to show you too that they come in this linen carrying box. So I just took it out so it'd be easier. But yeah, when you're not looking through your album, you can have it stored in this box, which keeps it nice and safe and, you know, clean, protected from the elements of the world. So it does come with that. But the point of an album is to flip through it. So that's what we're gonna do. As you can see, this is a massive album. It is huge, but I love it that way. I think it's just really substantial and hearty, and you can just tell it's like definitely holds a story. So it's about the size of my torso. It's very large. Yeah, it's great. And this is a 12 by 12 album, so the biggest size that you can get, and then with 40 spreads. So that's what a 40 spread album looks like. And again, a spread is just a left and a right page opened up flat. So when you open it up, it lays flat. That's a spread instead of a left and right page. So 40 spreads or 80 pages and a 12 by 12 album. And this one is in the color gray. It's just a leather gray. I think it's beautiful. It's really just classic and clean and simple and stunning. So I love that they went with this color, and they have their names put on the front of it. So Rachel and Malicio are on there as well in gold. So that is overall kind of what an album looks like, especially this size. So 12 by 12, 40 spread, big, big album. So let's take a peek through and see what this is all about. To give you an idea of just what kind of we're getting into and who Rachel and Malicio are, these guys are from Virginia, and they actually flew out to Yosemite National Park in California for their elopement day. And it was so exciting because they had never been to Yosemite before, and to get to show someone a park that I love so much, just a space that I love so much, is really, really special, especially on their wedding day. So that was amazing to get to, you know, see them look at Yosemite and experience Yosemite throughout their wedding weekend. It was kind of like an elopement turned destination wedding. They ended up having about 30 people show up for their celebration, and it was perfect for them. It was absolutely what was best for them. So I was really, really happy to see it play out that way. And they hired me for 12 hours. So obviously a really long day, you know, really coverage of everything that was happening during their elopement day. And I think that's really best case scenario when it comes to building an album, because you're telling the story of the day from beginning to end, how you experienced it, because you want to be able to remember it. And an album that starts at the beginning and goes to the end really does that. And this is a great example of that. So 12 hours together, and a lot of things in Yosemite are pretty far spaced apart, so we had to drive a lot to different spots, but we did explore the park thoroughly. They saw a ton of amazing things and had a really, really cool day. So you're gonna see what that is all about. So let's go ahead and open it up. So this first page starts out with Rachel getting ready, and something that I loved about Rachel and Malicio from the start was that they just wanted to go big or go home. Like, they did not want to settle for anything. They wanted it to be really cool, really special, and just kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, which I am all about. And so they wanted to stay somewhere really unique, not just like a normal hotel or Airbnb. And we found this place called Auto Camp, which now I'm going to recommend to everyone because I think it's so cool. But it's just outside of the park, and basically it's all of these renovated Airstreams. So they're stunning inside. They've been completely flipped, and it's kind of like a campground, but like a really nice campground with a bunch of Airstreams. And then they have a few yurts and a few like shipping container tiny homes. So just really, really unique, and not something that you would typically stay in on a normal trip. So that was really fun for them to experience. And yeah, Rachel got ready in the Airstream, and then Malicio got ready in a yurt just a couple sites down, which was really cool for the guys too. So just, again, an element of them that was really fun, and, you know, they just wanted to make it that much more special. So this was a really fun time. We have some detail photos. She put a lot of thought, again, into their details and just kind of the little parts of the day as well. I love these black and white photos and albums. I think they're just stunning on a page together. And the light in this Airstream was so beautiful because it just kind of reflected everything. So it was a great place to get ready in. Here we have her dress hung up on one of the shipping container tiny homes. I love a white dress against a dark contrasty background. I think it just makes it pop that much more. So that was the perfect spot. And this was actually, so the auto camp place basically has a hangout spot. So kind of like a reception at a hotel, but way cooler. So this was kind of that area. It's just like an open concept kind of vibe and lots of fresh air flowing through, and that's actually where they had dinner and kind of had like a little reception towards the end of the day with their family and friends. So really cool spot. And here Rachel is right before heading to her first look. So at this point, she's ready, she's in her dress, her hair and makeup's done, and obviously the nerves are starting to probably kick in a little bit. She's feeling a little excited, feeling some anticipation, but mostly excited, and she looked stunning. She was ready to rock and roll. So we just took a few shots of her exiting the Airstream, but really, really sweet moment. Something that I loved, again, that Rachel and Malicio did, part of just making everything really intentional to them, was Malicio had lost his dad about a year prior, and Rachel had a few family members as well that had passed and weren't able to be there on their wedding day. So they wanted to do something to honor those people and to just have kind of a moment of recognizing them and remembering them. So they chose to do a butterfly send-off, and they had little butterflies that came in the mail in envelopes, and they just opened up the envelopes and the butterflies flew out. And it was just really fun. The girls did it together and then the guys did it together both before their first look. Obviously you can see the little butterfly there. Was really cool and just a special fun way to remember people that weren't able to be there in person for their wedding day. Here are Malicio and his guys getting ready. So like I said, they were in a yurt. Really sweet little moment with his mom there, and this was funny. They're trying to figure out how to tie a bow tie, or not a bow tie, a pocket square. So they were looking it up on Google and making it work. So guys were getting ready. Obviously, most of the time, guys take a little less time than girls do to get ready. So the guys were set and ready to go, had a few extra minutes. So they sat outside on their little porch patio thing and drank some whiskey, as guys do. I'm not a whiskey person yet. Shout out to you if you are, because it seems pretty cool. So they drank some whiskey and had a good time. And then we made our way into the park, and this was such a cool moment because it was the first time that they were entering the park, and to get to see someone see Yosemite for the first time is such a treat because it's so incredible, and to watch them see it was really cool. But we pulled into the park and they did their first look at a place called Bridal Veil Falls, which worked out because she had a bridal veil. But yeah, they did it at the base of the falls. So it was actually a pretty tricky spot to get to. I kept saying to Rachel, we can find somewhere that's easier to get to. There's so many beautiful spots in Yosemite. You don't have to climb these wet, slippery rocks, but she was determined. She wanted to do it there, and so I was all about it. And she did it, man. She went for it and climbed up those rocks and met Malicio at the top, right at the base of the falls, and they had their first look, and it was so special. He cried, which is always a win. You always are like, yeah, he loves her. It was just a really, really sweet moment. So they had their first look, and then we drove down the road to a little spot by the Merced River. One of my favorite spots also in Yosemite. They hit a lot of my favorite spots this day. But yeah, it was right on the river, and El Capitan, if you've not been to Yosemite, is a massive rock face. I think it's thousands of feet tall, basically just a vertical rock. And it overlooks Yosemite. It's a key part of Yosemite, and it was the background of their ceremony. So in their ceremony, they were looking at each other and looking at El Capitan in the back, which was really, really special. So this was their ceremony, and Rachel's dad walked her down the aisle, which was a little gravel path. All of our typically that's what our aisle looks like in a park. Really, really special though, and they had, their immediate friends and family and people that they just love the most in the world come to join them for this day. So their ceremony was really special. Her uncle actually officiated the ceremony. Really, really sweet little moments right on the river. And actually there was a painter that was painting the scene of El Capitan and the river and the trees, and he was just finishing it up, and her parents walked over to him after the ceremony and started talking to him, and he sold them the painting that he was working on of that scene, and they actually gifted it to Rachel and Malicio later that night, which was just really coincidental and incredibly sweet and thoughtful. They now have that painting for the rest of their lives. So their first kiss, they're officially married. I love this photo. I think it's so sweet because her dad is standing on the side and he just looks so proud, and he's clapping, and they're walking back down the aisle together. And you just see how happy he is and proud of her. So really, really sweet little moment. This is one of my favorite parts of a wedding or an elopement day, right after the ceremony when things are official. The nerves kind of go down a bit because, it's okay, we did that, it happened. And then everyone just like embraces and hugs and cries maybe a little bit, but there's just so much love being passed around. And it happens almost every time, and it happened this day too. So this page is all about that, of just people hugging. You can see Malicio's mom is hugging the new bride and crying a little bit there. And I think this is just such a sweet photo of Rachel and her dad hugging, and Malicio in the back. Really, really just showing off how much love there is in this family. And this just shows how many people there are in this family. So everyone, we just got a big group shot of everyone that came out for their elopement in one big photo. So I love that this spans the entire, an entire spread, that they can really see everyone and remember who was there for them on this really special day. And we did a few family photos. Obviously, those are really important if your family's coming out. So we have a few of those in here, as well as some bridesmaids. Malicio had his groomsmen, which was his brother and a good friend. So we took a few shots of those guys and a few of everyone together, again with beautiful Yosemite in the background. And then we headed up to Taft Point. So we drove kind of like around the park and back up to the top of the park. So the ceremony, getting ready, the first look, all of that was kind of in the valley of Yosemite. And then we went up to the top, which is a completely different view, but just as spectacular. And you really have to see both to appreciate Yosemite. So we drove up to the top and headed down the trail, and the hike to Taft Point is about, I'd say it's like a mile each way, so about 2 miles round trip. And we hit it at perfect timing. The sun was setting and everything was just kind of illuminated in this gold that you can see in these photos, and so beautiful. They were just having a blast. They officially gotten married and just having like the best day ever. And I think you can just really see that and feel that through these photos. And yeah, we got to Taft Point by sunset. So here they are having a blast, and portrait time is a really special time, I think, for me and for couples, because it's the first time that you really are just like, you don't have to focus on anything else. You don't focus on your ceremony or your first look or getting ready. It's just like, this is your time to be together and to enjoy what is around you and what this day has meant, and just really be present with each other. So that's what I encouraged them to do, and they did it, and we got some beautiful shots. I'm obsessed with her dress still. I think it's stunning. But yeah, as the sun was setting, and they just were really kind of appreciating what this day had been and what it meant to them. Here is a really, really classic shot. This page actually and the next page. This is like classic Yosemite, classic Taft Point. So we were able to get a really stunning shot of them up there. And how incredible is this light? How is that even real? Yosemite knocks it out of the park every single time with that light. It is just insane. So beautiful. And you can see we've got a couple full page spreads in here, which are my favorite. I love when we just have one big photo on a spread, really emphasizing, how stunning that shot is. And we really just stayed up here until the sun went down. This is a really fun shot too. This was one of the first things that Rachel actually told me when we started talking about their elopement, that her and Malicio, so they're actually high school sweethearts. They've been together since high school. So, this was a long awaited day. And she said, we've got this silly pose that we do, anytime we go somewhere new or we take a photo together, this is like our pose. And so she's like, we have to do this pose. And I want to say it's called Arnold Palmer. I don't know if that's right. I might be naive for not knowing that. I don't know, but I think that's what it was called. And, she was like, we have to do this shot. So we made sure to get one of those in too. And that's just something that's fun. Like, they're gonna look through this album with their kids one day, and they'll probably still do that 20 years down the road. And so their kids will flip through here and be like, oh my gosh, here are mom and dad doing this silly pose like they do all the time, all over the place. And they did it on their wedding day. And just, it'll be a laughing point and something that is fun and just creates connection and helps them remember who they are. So really, really beautiful. Like I said, we stayed up really until the sun went down, as much as we could, just kind of taking in. There's a big shot of kind of the view that they were looking at as the sun set. And yeah, just a really, really fun time for them to kind of have a few minutes by themselves and really enjoy the park that they were in and the fact that they were married. Love this. Again, this is a super classic shot of Yosemite and of Taft Point. Just you can see the valley down below, El Capitan, that rock face I was talking about earlier, shining in her glory there, and the two of them having a little first dance on Taft Point. And truthfully, it looks like they're the only people in the park or even the world. And sometimes I love to create photos like that where it's just like, it's just you guys on your wedding day. Really special. So this was where we wrapped it up. We stayed up on Taft Point and just until the sun kind of set. We didn't stay until the stars completely came out, but just a little bit that they started to peek out, which you can kind of see in this photo. And right before we headed down, I just said, I want you guys to embrace and just like breathe in each other, breathe in this fresh air, and just like really remember where you're at and what this day has been and how just all the things that you feel. Like you feel so good right now. You are thriving. Like this has just been an incredible day. I feel like it's been an incredible day and I'm not even the one that got married. So I just wanted them to really take a moment to be present and get out of their minds and just really be with each other and the space that they were in. So they did that, and we got this really cool shot of them with the headlamp and snuggling up there and the stars just beginning to peek out. And I think it just kind of wraps everything up perfectly. So that is the day and the story of Rachel and Mauricio. As you can see, filled it up with lots of memories, but this is so special. They're gonna have this, and like I said, they're gonna flip through it with their kids and their grandkids, and generations beyond that are gonna have this and be like, oh my gosh, my great grandma and grandpa were freaking epic. They got married in this national park, and look at how much love is in this family I come from. I mean, this is a legacy. This is something you're gonna pass on for generations and generations, and regardless of the generations, it's something that you're gonna hold and look back on together. It's something that is really nostalgic and is gonna, on days that you're maybe not feeling that good and you just want a happy memory, or a day that you're feeling fine and you just happen to pawn this and you start flipping through it, it's gonna bring you back to this amazing day, because I can guarantee you your elopement day is gonna be incredible and you're gonna wanna remember every single moment of it, and that's exactly what these albums do. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful to see one kind of in real life and kind of get a vibe for what they look like and feel like. And I hope that you get your hands on one, because they are incredibly special, and I just believe that everyone really deserves one to kind of tell the story of this epic day that you're going to have. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.